What's up, girl? Look at her, she's still got food in her face. So I came back here because I wanted to, this is Olive, by the way. She's like highlighter yellow. She's like my prettiest Eastern Hermann's tortoise that I have. Don't bite me. It's not edible. Hi. So yeah, I came back here because I had a female drop a couple eggs in the enclosure without burying them last week. So usually they don't drop more, they drop more eggs than just 2 eggs. So me thinks that there's probably more eggs. Either whoever the female is that was laying them or gonna lay them, I think has more eggs. So I've just been back in here just digging around, seeing if I can find if there was like a spot where she decided to lay, or maybe I had to be really careful where I step because I don't want to compact the soil down either and make it even harder to find the eggs later. I don't think that there's going to be any right here just because so many females, so many adults like to hide underneath this little hide over here. Bye. What? Where are you going? So I already checked that spot over there because that actually looked like it got dug up a little. But yeah, I've been just checking around. Oh, cramped. My knee's I'm getting old. Things are starting to hurt. I'm just trying to go through and see if I find anything. If not, I think what I'm gonna do is add some more soil. This is where they typically, like up against the house right here, is typically where they love to nest. But I do have an area, like this spot, this line almost a dip down, where I don't have gutters on my house. So like, it just indents and it washes out and actually floods this area. So I'm gonna have to build this area up. And part of the reason why I put this board down temporarily was just to avoid giving them more shelter, but also to avoid, you know, more flooding in that area. I mean, it's not really that bad. Like, I mean, it just rained like 2 days ago pretty hard, and we had a pretty bad storm, and for it to crumple like that, that's not bad. That soil, the soil's not like, oh, there's worm. Yeah, like that's pretty good soil. Like I'm not so worried about it just holding and retaining water, because I did have flooding issues last year where this whole area just was under like 2 inches of water. It was torrential. It just kept coming down, and ended up drowning all my eggs, or most of my eggs that I got last year from these guys. So that was heartbreaking. We mostly have clay soil here naturally, but I've amended the soil so much. I used to have a goat pen right over the spot, and after letting it sit for over a year, like, it decomposed a lot of the hay and just organic compost at that point, so it's real good soil. But I've also amended the soil with sphagnum moss and different types of natural compost and stuff, just to, and of course I usually let these leaves just kind of hang out in here, and they break down over time, and again also helps amend the soils. They don't eat just random stuff. They do eat some of the leaves, but they don't eat these oak leaves. At least I don't think so. Maybe they do, but I don't think they do when they're brown. I know I have like 13 trees on my properties, so like I forget which ones they enjoy eating and which ones they don't care for. So there's Mopani. It's my biggest female. I don't know if you can see this, but like a normal sized girl's hand. That's a big old, actually let's do this. I have a size 8 shoe next to this woman, this big old gal. Is she beautiful? Like, I love the patterning on her. She's got this cool, like, I don't know, she's pretty. She's a pretty big girl. I have some really pretty adults, but I don't care, honestly. Like, when people give me these animals sometimes, like, I just want to give them a good home and not worry about what they look like. But I love that she's got this, like, real butch looking tough girl face, like whiter cheeks, whiter head. She's so cute. I love how they all have their food mustache after eating. I change this water like almost daily, and this always happens because they climb in and out of it, so they end up getting leaves back in there. So I do feed them on like plates and stuff. Like, this is from Target. It's like $1.50, something like that. These are from like the dollar store. These are all like food safe, dishwasher safe. But I like to feed them on that. For one, it's easier to clean. So like at the end of the night, I just pick this stuff up, rinse it off, dump it or whatever, so that rodents don't get into it, and it doesn't get rodents interested in hanging around here when I don't want them around here. There's another spot I'm wondering if they're gonna start trying to lay in. Just back here, just because the soil, like, we put sphagnum moss over here because we had a couple females this winter that were popping up before they were supposed to, because we had some warmer days. So we started like throwing extra soil that we just had laying around back here. And you can see all the leaves. Like, see all those? That's how you tell, like, there was already leaves over here, and then we added more soil on top of it, on top of the females, so that they were well insulated during winter. We just didn't want there to be any issues. Doesn't mean that you have to do that. I've had, here in Dallas, we have like such up and down weather that it's not, I don't want to chance it. I don't want to chance losing a single animal. All these guys have names. They all matter to me. They're not just breeders. They're not just something that I used to make money off of. Like, I actually love every single one of mine. See how she's got these marks right here? She's been getting underneath something. That's coming right off though. See how pretty they are? You can kind of tell some of them that are older. Like, her patterning is kind of wearing off. This is one of the original females I had from the trio. I actually inherited this from a trio from this guy that I educated with at the Natural History Museum in Fair Park before it closed. And he unexpectedly passed away, and his family gifted me these. But when we used to have when I used to throw turtle meetings and stuff, local turtle meetings, he would come to them and he just would always rant and rave about how awesome his Hermans were, and that he loved them and he raised them from babies, but he could never get them to lay. And when his family gave them to me, I quickly found out why, is because they were one of those, like Zoom Ed square box type deals that he homemade, that was only about 2 feet by 3 feet, or maybe 4 feet. And there was no way for her to bury down and lay her eggs. So that, like, even if she wanted to, she wouldn't be comfortable doing it. So there's not enough room for her. What's up, buddy? Look at that food mustache. I must ask you a question. These just are such good pets, man. This is why I breed this species, because, like, they're just so good for people to keep as pets. And they're so much smaller than most tortoise species, and they can stay outside year round in most states. I mean, it's just, they're awesome. Look at this. She's got her legs all stretched out. She's just living the good life. I don't blame you, girl, man. I do the same thing. Like, no natural predators for you here. You get all the food you can have. Well, no, because I actually dieted mine. But You don't even have to try. You just have to be pretty. It's like I married my turtles, my tortoises. They just have to stay home and look pretty. I'll go out and earn the money. But at least they give back, right? Like they're still contributing to financial needs. When I sell their babies, they go back to the paying for their food and their care and equipment, and then to the conferences that I go to, so that I can learn more about these awesome turtles, so that I can educate the public about it, and you guys can do even more awesome things with your animals and treat them the best possible way ever. Look at this. Look at that tooty little boot. Look at that. Look at that. You're so cute. I love how they just don't even care. They're like, I got food right now. I don't even care. Let's say hi to this lady. This is my other big girl. This is Willow. What up, Willow? How's it going? How's it hanging, lady? That's like a super close up. She's like, look at my good side. This is my good side. Isn't that adorable? She's just sniffing the phone. Look at the coloring on her neck and head. Like, she's got that like green on her. Isn't that cool? I know that they're like you know, not like the most highly sought after tortoises and stuff by collectors, but they're just, to me, they're just like the best. Super personable, easy to care for, just like all around the perfect pet tortoise. Love them. Wow. Willow says it's time to get off the phone and go to bed, so I guess I'll wrap this up. I'll do some more videos, hopefully with more of my tortoises and turtles and stuff, and talk to y'all about some of the ways I care for my animals. But I try to listen to the animal, and I think that's the best advice I can give anybody about caring for these guys is trust your intuition. If you notice something's off, it's probably off. Some people get hypersensitive and over aware of their animal's needs to the point where, you know, it's overdoing it. But you know, trust your gut. That's what I tell people. A lot of animal care is intuitive. But I'm sure you guys are all doing awesome jobs. Feel free to drop a comment if you have any questions, and I will help you the best way I can. She's pretty too, isn't she? Like, look at that patterning right there. I don't think she likes the touching as much as the rest of them. She's really pretty too. Anyways, before I get totally mobbed by the rest of my tortoises, I'm gonna go. Y'all have a fantastic day, and catch you on the next one.